Who are you and what was your role on this project?
I'm Keegan Kittlestead. I'm a second-year digital filmmaking student here at the Spokane Falls Community College, and I was the second assistant director on set for this production. I really enjoyed it. Even though it was a lot, it was definitely fun to work with everyone and be in an environment where most of the films I've done in the past have been like a very like, oh, everyone kind of does mostly everything, whereas this was very like, oh, you have a job and you're doing it. So it was really interesting to work with people in their specific fields and get to know people throughout it and know how to communicate with them and know, oh, we need this, or oh, you're in charge of this. It was very nice. I had Rebecca as my instructor for a few classes in the past, and I really wanted to work with her in the first place, so getting an opportunity like this to work under her and oversee what she was doing and kind of what techniques she used to get actors to kind of give the performance that she was looking for, and also seeing how she just handled a set of this size was very informative to me and helped me learn a lot about my own directing style and how I can apply these techniques to make my productions run a lot smoother.
I'm Calvin Rothstein. I was the camera operator for Camera B, and I am a first-year digital filmmaking student at the colleges here.
I'm Quinlan Fry. I was the boom operator and I was an extra, and this is my first year as digital filmmaking.
It was really fun. You know, this is the first time I've actually done anything with cameras like these before. I really think it helps give me like a better insight on, you know, the stuff in the future that's to come.
Yeah, I really liked when the binder was being drug against the ground, because it taught me that you can creatively apply using the boom pole, because I shortened it and put it against the floor so we could hear every individual jingle as the binder drug along. So that kind of taught me to be like creative with how you do microphone and audio placement.
My name is Chelsea Cruz, and my role on this project was second AC, or second camera assistant. That fourth day when we did the dining scene, I feel like we locked down on what we were doing, what our roles were. I feel like I was confident of like, you know, immediately getting stuff that was needed for the camera, and like just really communicating with my team really well. And yeah, it was really good that day. I feel a lot more confident being around a camera, especially for me, coming with little to none experience with cameras and stuff like that. I feel more prepared because of this experience. I had fun on set. I really did enjoy the presence that we had on set. I feel like it was really good energy in between scenes and while filming and stuff. And yeah, I just really had fun with this whole experience, and it's something that I will definitely remember.
Colin. I'm the cage guy. I was classified as a key grip, but I pretty much did it all. I had multiple hats, partially because of my day job, really in charge of all the equipment no matter how it's being used, but then specifically for this project, I had to make sure that my group of grip characters were doing what they needed to on top of monitoring everything on set. I love production. The chaos of it is my favorite part. That's what got me into all this, is the multiple levels that it takes to make one thing happen in the end. I mean, everybody I worked with and everybody in electrical and grip was great. They were always there asking questions, making sure they were where they needed to be. If they didn't know what I was talking about, I could explain it to them fairly easily, and they had the wherewithal to know what I was meaning. I think not only for my team, but as a whole, the level of understanding grew exponentially, even within the first week to the second week. I've heard people reference it already, but you kind of get comfortable with your coworkers and the position you're in. So it was really cool watching the students grow and work together in that, especially since, we talk about it and we tell them these things as the days go by, but in this industry, a lot of that is until you get that hands-on and on-set experience. It doesn't quite translate the same as what I've noticed, so that was really cool to see them go, oh, this is right, this is what they've been talking about.
Hey, my name is Andrew, and my role on this project was grip. One thing about Colin is he's a very good and understanding person, and it was so good learning from him because anything that you had like questions about, like just based on like the equipment, he had like lots of information on that. Yeah, I think I liked the third day. That should have been the car scene outside, yeah. So one thing that I liked about that was how they just managed to film all that, just with the car and everything. It was so interesting just to see how they managed to light that up and, just what they had to do just to make sure that, they had to achieve that. I think one thing that I learned was teamwork. I just learned that sometimes just working with the team and just working with like a lot of individuals, is great because you never know what happens. Most of the times, you can always learn a lot from like a lot of different departments and what was going on. And I think that was the greatest thing that I learned a lot, just teamwork.
My name is Johnny Collins, and I was the script supervisor for this project. It was very educational. I've always been featured extras and in front of the camera in my previous experiences, so this was a great insight into the pacing and how the whole scene is set up, as well as making sure things that happen in the scene were consistent throughout the scene. The first day of filming, we got to see some of the instructors that we've been learning from's acting ability, and it was interesting to see some of their takes on their portrayal of the characters and how they evolved through this process. A lot of students from the digital filmmaking class that I'm in, as well as the acting for TV and directing for film class. So I was in class with pretty much everybody that was involved except for some of the actors from the drama class. So going in, I was pretty comfortable because I knew all the instructors, I knew most of the cast, and I knew some of the people that were actors on screen.
Hi, my name is Ethan Sheffer. I'm a second-year film student here at Spokane Falls, and I was the assistant director for this project. On day 4, the shoot we did in the dining room that was a set built in the Spartan Theater. Thought that was just a really cool experience working on like a fabricated set versus a real-world location. Either that or when we shot a portion through the front windshield of a car out in the parking lot. I think that was pretty cool to see how that all gets set up and just the levels at play within a shot like that. Working with all y'all, that's been super, super fun and just a very, very useful experience.
I'm Rebecca Cook. I'm the director of The Journey. So on this project, we have instructors here at the college who are department heads essentially, and then the entire crew and cast are all students. So it's working with student actors, student crew, and there's a good solid faculty here, which is nice to rely on for the parts that we do best. But learning how a professional film set works in a matter of 5 days, essentially, 5 3-hour days, is pretty demanding. So having the workshop we did ahead of time with everyone on basic set etiquette and how to read a call sheet, I think was really helpful. But then being on set and putting it into action, like here are the terms we're going to use. I'm going to ask you what I need. If I don't see you, standing necessarily in the right spot, or if I see you doing something that's absolutely correct, like, yes, that's how it should be done on a professional set, nice work. Trying to remember every step along the way that each person doing the job is probably doing it for the first time in a setting like this, and acknowledging when things are right all the time, not just when they're wrong, is an important part of the process. Probably one of my favorite scenes is the dining room scene. Not only did we get to do something really interesting with building a modular set so we could remove and replace walls, watching the walls move, watching people watch the walls move who were kind of in awe getting to see that for the first time, and the fact that it all worked. You never quite know till you get there. And then just there was a nice dynamic with the actors in that scene too. Not gonna lie, that little Uncle John moment pulls at my heartstrings. I loved it. So that's probably my favorite if I have to pick one, but there's a lot of great stuff. These projects, this is the second time that I've been involved in one of these projects at the Falls, where we collaborate between the drama department and the film department to create a short film. And I will say it is just the highlight of my work here at SFCC. I love working with the students and having this opportunity to not only make a short film, which I absolutely love, but also bring everyone else along on the journey to learn about it and watch everyone sort of learn their roles and figure out how things work, and these aha moments we have. I think it's just magical. I absolutely love it. And this experience has been wonderful.